All right. What's up? Let me see. I see my life. Just joined. Boss Lady 4438, Rish 890. What's up, everybody? How you doing? This is a special edition of my Power Talks. The reason being is I didn't get to bring on Billie Jean is marketing yesterday, and we were out in the woods, and I wasn't having great receptions. I'm trying to work out all these technical issues here, but everybody just jumped on it. Wow, 300 people already, 312. So I wanted to bring on Billie Jean today because I feel that he had just such amazing knowledge. He was already, if you didn't know, he's already in my Power Shift book. Him and I are a lot alike. I think that he has a young baby, a young child. He came from nothing. He wasn't the greatest kid in school. Learned how to market, figured things out. He's here today. So, are you all ready? Let's rock. Let's rock with him really quick. I'm not going to spend the hour on this one because I got other things to do, and he has other things to do. So we just slip this time in right now. Let me see if I get him right here. Billie Jean. See.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
What's up, Billy? How you doing, brother?
It's working. We got sound. We out here. Hype. I like it.
Let me fix my it's funny, like when you put the split screen on, all of a sudden, yeah, you get further up on it. All right, cool.
There we go.
I'm here with you, man.
What's
and
happening?
I know yesterday it was my problem because I'm obviously the one trying to figure my stuff out up here, and you've been broadcasting from where you're
years. Too. The Instagram gods didn't want it to happen.
Well, it's all good. Maybe because people needed this special edition of the Billy Dee show. That's the Billy Dee show. All right.
The Daymond Axelrod. Let's get it.
So, really one really important thing is how do we leave people with a lasting impression? I had on there yesterday, my buddy, when you and I had our glitch, I had on my buddy Mike, Love Handles. So you put the phone on, you put that on. And,
I saw that. I was like, you need to ship one out to me. I saw that. I got a little jealous. That was pretty cool.
All right. If Mike's here, I'm going to make sure he sends this out to you. No problem. Mike, send a bunch out. Sometimes I send people when I speak for them, I send them this hand-graved, made out of railroad spikes, the letter opener. And then every time they're opening their letters, they remember me.
I have it hung up in my office right now.
That's right.
But when you can, I think that was probably 2 years ago now. But I got it in my office. I got it framed right next to my computer.
And when you do that, people go, "Hey, you called Daymond lately?" But you are a master at marketing. You know why?
Why is that?
You sent me this.
You still got it. 100. Yeah.
You made me the most annoying person in the world.
Just carry it with you everywhere you go.
I'm going to bless you with just one of them.
All right, hit me with it.
What did E.T.'s mother say to him when he returned home?
Phone home? I don't know what.
Where on earth have you been? That's it.
I'm mad too because I have a book and I was like, should I bust it out? So I'm gonna get you with one by the end.
All right. So listen, let's get to what's more important right here. And what's more important here is what's in it for the people watching us and what can they learn from. All right, Billy, just give me, I'm not even going to ask you questions because I know that you and I were kind of like, we go through this every day and we have a bunch of people asking us the same questions. So we know the same questions that are generally asked by everybody. So what right now can you tell people who are lost and they're trying to find their way in the marketing world, or not in the marketing world? I mean, you're always marketing even when you're talking. When they're trying to find their way on their platforms. I'm not sure what their platform is. Yesterday I was talking to Avin from Aquaball, and he said Pinterest is rocking for him.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
I look at every platform as a different place, a different party, right?
Yeah.
You come into the party dressed up, or you come into the party grunge, or you come into the party with a big bow tie.
That
Tell us
that
about the
LinkedIn
party.
versus Facebook versus IG. I'll tell you,
Yeah,
you know, I think the biggest thing, regardless of the platform that people are missing right now, the example I like to use is that there's a lion in the room. And what I mean by that, like you and I are talking right now. So people are in the chat, etc. If there was a lion, a real big ass lion behind you right now, and imagine if I just continued to sell my widget. Like I'm selling pencils and I'm like, hey guys, you should buy my pencil. But there's a lion behind Daymond. Everybody be like, Billy, are you kidding me? You don't, yo, there's a lion behind you. Are you gonna warn him? Yeah, and they'd be screaming, they would be freaking out. They would hear nothing I'm saying about my product. So I
right.
feel like that's where people are really missing the boat is they're like, I'm not going to get involved in politics. I'm not going to get involved in this race stuff. I'm not going to get involved in mask or no mask. I'm not going and they're falling on deaf ears because people got a freaking line, right? Like there's 40 million jobs lost in the US or whatever. And the fact that people are trying to not enter the conversation is an automatic L. You cannot win when people cannot focus on your message. So to me, that right there is huge. And we made the mistake. So back in March, when that was happening, our whole thing was like, let's go help companies scale. For the last year, that's been our thing. Hey, you want to go to 8 figures, etc. Like, let us help you scale and grow. But when we started using that message in March and everybody was freaking out, people were ignoring it. They're like, yo, I'm not trying to scale. I'm not trying to grow. I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to figure out if I need to cut my staff, etc. So I sat with my team and I'm like, it was really uncertain then too. No one knew what was going to happen. So I'm like, we need to create something new. And I said, what's the question that everybody is wondering right now? What is the freak out? If I jump into the conversation of entrepreneurs, what are they thinking? And we came up with this. If I lost it all, here's exactly what I do in 30 days to get it back. I said, for 30 days, I'm going to go live with you every day for 30 days. I'm going to send you a video of exactly what to do. If I lost it all, I had to start from scratch, etc. We launched that. I think we did 500,000 in the first couple of days. Boom, just like that. Just with the pivot of message. Now, granted, it's the same shit I teach regardless of any economy, which is advertising. Like, you're going to need customers. If things are going good, you want to grow faster. If things are going bad, you desperately need customers. It doesn't matter. But that pivot of messaging, our sales took off. Like, they went crazy, and it's been really good since. But those kind of pivots, like addressing the line in the room, all the ads that I did during that time too, this was critical, were not highly produced. Like, I like to write stuff, be creative, etc. But when I was showing up then, it was take out my cell phone, go on my balcony at the crib, and just let people know, like, this is what's going on. No fancy, no frills, no nothing. And that formula, it took off.
All right, so let me touch on a little bit of that. So because at first, I'm a very literal person, and so you're saying the lion in the room is not necessarily the politics or necessarily the COVID. It's just getting narrow and deep, saying, I know you're suffering from whatever the environment is, but here is your answer. Because again, sometimes when people are more literal and somebody may be taking from you. So do I just talk about wearing a mask and people are dying, or
I see what you're saying.
politics? Because what can happen in that lion could be, some people could say, wait a minute, I could watch that crap on the news all the time. I'm coming to you because I don't want to hear it. You're saying, I'm not talking specifically and granular about religion, politics, and or COVID. I'm talking about your challenged right now, and I understand it. I have empathy for you because I'm challenged. You're challenged. I've either been there, or even if you're not challenged, the information I'm going to give you, you can pass on to somebody in your family or somebody who is challenged. But I know that that's what it is, and we need to talk about it today. I can't give you this long 10-year plan. Is that what you're saying?
So it's a piece of that, and then even diving in a step further. So like, say I'm selling, I don't know, vacuum cleaners or something. Like, if I'm selling vacuum cleaners, I want to talk specifically about how right now in this moment in time, why vacuum cleaners are relevant. Like, you got to clean your house because it helps reduce germs that can spread to da-da-da-da-da. Like, jump directly in the conversation. Or like, when the protests and the riots were happening, people were really concerned of like, do you say Black Lives Matter, all lives matter? So like, if you're selling your thing, start off and say, hey, Black Lives Matter, I don't care if you think all lives matter, but the one thing that matters is green lives matter. You need money to pay your bills. Like, insert it in your actual messaging. Say it, or it feels like you're talking as if you're ignoring everything that's going on. You know what I mean? People, you know, tone deaf or whatever they're labeling it as, whatever that is. But like, yeah.
And are you talking to who do you? I mean, of course, you're talking to the people that support you first, right? Because they're
Yeah.
looking to you to say, "What do you got?" But how do you start introducing that to more people, or do you do over the first, is it the 10 or 30 days that you say, "No, no, no, no. I'm over providing for the people that respect me, value me, and the people that I respect and I value. And if I see that it is effective enough, I introduce it to new people, or I
That's
ask
interesting.
them to introduce it to other people because it's of value to them."
So we're actually spending a lot of money on cold traffic. People who have no idea who Billie Jean is marketing is, never heard of us, because it's the one time where everybody's going through the same shit. Like, you go anywhere in the world, the same topics are relevant. And it's like, you never have that, right? And so it's so universal. And then the other side that people are sleeping on is right now, Facebook, since I've been doing this the last like 12 years or something, I've never seen it this cheap since like 12 years ago. It's so cheap because it's not competitive. So like back in March and April, the first budget that people were cutting, honestly, was their marketing budget. They're like, I'm not going to spend money on marketing right now. I need to save that money. And that's backwards, because the way that Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all those things, when you advertise, everyone listening, you got to realize it's an auction site. And the way that auctions work, if there's more people bidding, you pay more. So if there's 100 people bidding on, this red cup, it's going to get pretty expensive. If there's 3 people bidding on the red cup, it's going to be way cheaper. And so right now we're like, everybody's afraid of social media and advertising. They don't know what to say. Is it the right time to say? Like, should I go there? Do I talk to new audiences? And we're just sitting here in the back like, okay, y'all go think about it, and we're going to take advantage. So we have been advertising probably heavier than we ever have, and it's working really well.
Wow, that's important information. I didn't know because, listen, it's a big world out there. And the last thing I heard, and I heard, right? So
Yeah.
I can't say I heard because, it came from my staff. But, I was told that Facebook had changed its algorithm a year or 2 years ago. It became too expensive. And there were different reasons why, because maybe they were hit with so many government regulations.
Hey,
they had to pay for a lot of shares.
Listen to this. Listen to this,
Yeah.
okay? I told my team on our huddle up today, and this is a legit mistake I made, okay? So, doing something for 12 years, sometimes you get a little overconfident or arrogant. At least I did, right? And I'm like, dude, I've seen everything on Facebook. You can't tell, you're not going to show me something I haven't seen. I thought I knew. So to give perspective, when we're advertising that, that 30 days of Genius program to help people go from scratch, usually our cost per sell was around $70 to $150 to like $200. It ranged, okay? I went to my buddy Chase Hero's place. Shout out to Chase Hero, who does advertising. And I was talking to him on the phone. He's like, yo, we're killing it right now. And I was like, you know what, man? Like, can I come to your office and like see what you're doing? And he's like, yeah, of course. Like, come through. So I brought my marketing team. I came up. We talked to him for 3 hours. He's doing everything the exact opposite of how we do it. But he's doing way bigger numbers right now. So I'm sitting here listening, and I'm like, why the hell am I not testing that? And he's saying all the things that I'm getting, and I'm like, whatever. So I come back, and this is real time. This happened today and yesterday. We test the strategy he's using on Facebook. Our cost reduced from that $70 to $200 range to $15 cost per sell. 15. And the product cost $100. Like, the average card is $111. Just imagine that. You spend 15, you make $111. That's
Right.
what happened. And the mistake was the fucking arrogance and overconfidence that I was having to, even though I'm really good at advertising, to forget that there's other people who are really good too. And I could be learning from them. So I got mad at myself because I was like, if I pick that up from him in 3 hours, what if I was doing that with every single day with other people who are spending a lot of money? What else am I missing and I'm not trying? But literally right now, I woke up at 3:30 this morning because I was so excited, because I've never seen conversions on something like this so low. I couldn't even sleep because I'm like, my life's going to change forever. Now, granted, a lot can go wrong. It can all go down. You know what I mean? There's a lot of variables. Yeah. But just that arrogance, it just got me. And it was the biggest lesson to me, because I'm just like, wow, I could have called him 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
you know,
how
I get it. Listen, I'm too close to. Listen, a lot of times we can be too close to it too. You know, like, and
yeah.
I always tell the story of Bombas socks when they came on. I was like, whatever, socks. You know, I got 10 clothing companies. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And by the way, 8 of them are dead. But you know what I mean. And then I
Yeah.
learned from these guys. So because business is being done a whole new different way, and sometimes you don't think about things like that. But how do you expand your business if you don't keep learning? And you know what? Maybe you would have tried exactly what he was saying and it didn't work. Or at least you tried something. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. And it couldn't have grown unless I tried. So I told that to my team today, and I'm just like, when you really look at all the departments, right? Like, well, what are we not doing on customer service side to help, tickets? What are we not doing on the sales side, by not talking to other people? So like an exercise for everybody listening, I'm telling you, you have, like, what I recommend to everybody, whatever your role is, even if you have a company or you're within a company, find 10 other people who do exactly what you do. Start a group chat on Slack. I heard y'all talking about Slack yesterday, on Slack or WhatsApp, and just get in the group and everybody just chat and share what's working. I guarantee you, no matter what aspect of life it is, it will make everybody more money. Or if it's about relationships, right? Find 10 other couples. Hey, we tried this, da da da. It will get you results. On the fitness game, I'm in the last 73 days, I'm down 42 pounds right now. But it's because,
Good for you.
thank you. But it's because I got a trainer, I got on my shit and I decided. But then another one, I called up my guy, Alex Ramosi. I'm like, bruh, you're in shape as hell right now. What are you doing? He's like, I work out every day. No days off, no matter what. So I did it. And I'm on a 73-day streak. But again, I obviously know that. But hearing him say it as a person that has the results, I'm like, okay. And it changed it for me. And I'm in the groove and I have, you know what I'm saying? So like all those things, I'm just like, damn, they all come from asking for help. When did I get so cool? And I'm always investing in the coaches and shit, but when did I get so cool, Eric, whatever you want to, lazy, complacent? When did I get those things? I'm not in the conversation. How much
But
better would my life be if I did that?
but where do you get into that group chat where you rise with everybody else? They accept you because you all right. So you got certain people that are at a certain level,
Yeah.
and let's say you have 10 people in that group chat, and 7 of them are brilliant, and
Mm.
the other 3 they haven't gotten to that level yet, but the other 3 are now doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
hitting too many people, whatever the case is, and you're like, yo, why am I even in here? Or how are you all around the same level and you're saying, all right, I'm working on this and that, but how do I get into the next room? I'm just trying to
Mm.
figure that one out because there's that healthy balance of,
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying. And,
100%. You don't
and
want to
I'm not
like
sure,
waste the
I
time.
don't,
Like, it's
yeah,
like, hey,
I'm not sure if you have the answer, but sometimes I've done
well,
this. I put all my Shark Tank companies together and said, hey, let's all do a networking thing. And then one of
mm.
them be like, yo, your man,
Yeah,
your man over there, yo,
hey,
tell your man, yeah,
here's
step on the
here's the
brakes for a
only thing
second.
that we do on, like, and we do this on the education side, right? And the only thing that I've found to be really successful that is just having different groups, right? Like, hey, if you're underneath the $1 million mark a year, you're here. If you're underneath 7 figures here, you're 8 figures here. Because if not, it's just gonna happen, right? Like, especially looking for high levels. So like for me, I told my tutor, I'm like, I'm gonna start a group of mine, but you have to be spending at least $250,000 a month to that, you know what I mean, for that particular group. And then actually, ironically, I recommend everybody has 3 groups that they're in because it's just a chat anyway, right? And make, one of the groups where everybody is just getting started off and you can help and you can pour into them and get fulfilled that way. Have a third of them as your peers. You're on the same level doing the same shit and you're having fun, joking around, learning from them. And then have a third where you're the person in the room that's the troll. Like, how do you get in here? You need to make sure you're that too. Like, oh, I don't know if this guy can hang, because that's where you're gonna learn the most, right?
Somebody just put in here, and I see it happen on my thing all the time. Somebody said, what about robots? And most wealthy people are investing in robots. I know little to nothing about it. All I do
Yeah.
know is that on Instagram, when I post something, I'm spammed by whoever the
Oh my
Forex
gosh.
Bitcoin traders are. And
Yes, but hey, I made $1 million today with Tiffany at da 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 da. I'm so thankful. Da da, follow
yeah,
here. Like, yo, I get it too. Hey, whoever has the answer, please tell me, because I hate that shit. And
and
it's
I'm
literally
and so I hate it for a reason. I say, if that person is spamming and they have a fake account, then their morals are in the world of facades, fake,
Yep.
and whatever the case is, right? But it, is there ways that, listen, anything can be done, good or bad. A gun can be done. A gun can use to obviously harm somebody. A
Protect or
gun can,
kill, yeah.
yeah, or protect your family, or hunt to feed yourself, right? Are there ways of people who want to invest in robots, which I have no knowledge of, and this is, I didn't expect
Yeah.
this to go down this way. Are there ways that robots can be of use without overdoing it? And I'm not sure. Do you use robots at all or no?
That's a good point. I don't, and honestly, it's also a little outside my wheelhouse, right? Like, I don't know a lot about it, but like, here's the challenge is whenever I think of automation, whatever platform it's going to go on, I ask myself one question: how can I be on the same side as them? So for example, there's all kinds of shit that you can do on Instagram to increase following, etc. And let me tell you, they're really effective, but I cannot count how many times I've been approached by one of those things. And then 6 months later, they're like, hey, Bill, I'm gonna be real with you. It doesn't exist anymore, but it was a hell of a ride because it's still Wild Wild West. So it's like, to me, I'm like, with us, we advertise so much. It's such a big part of our business. If I ever did something like a bot and our account reps call us and like, yo, what are you doing? And I was gone, it never outweighs the upside. You know what I mean? Like, whatever that little gain was, it never makes it worth it. So to me, I just ask myself one question: is this going to piss off YouTube? Is this going to piss off Facebook? Is this going to piss off IG, email, etc.? If it is, I'm out. I'm out, right? Like, I'm just out. And so that's the way, honestly, I do it. But are there cool tools out there? 100%. The ones that I would recommend for everybody listening is like Facebook and all these platforms, they have approved developers. They have approved things that actually have a, a thumbs up, the stamp. Only use that shit if you want to play it really safe, because the worst thing that happens, Facebook flew me to their office like 6 years ago or something like that. And I got to meet with the policy team, the people who approve or disapprove ads, right? So there's me, there's like 3 other advertisers, and there's this room full of their employees. Dude, I look at the employees, it's literally a bunch of like 23-year-old kids, like 40 in a thing. And it just dawned on me. It's like, these are just a bunch of kids fucking around. Like, they don't care if your ad is disapproved or not approved. Like, they're just here for a paycheck like anybody else, like in a job. And I was just like, so in other words, if your account gets done, you ain't getting it back. They don't care. Nobody's going to follow up with you. Like, it's just that. Unless you're spending $10 million a month and we're not, like, you ain't, it's not worth it. So that's when I realized, I was like, I'm just going to play by the rules, because one, it's the right thing to do. But two, like, if they shut you down, you shut down. Like, there ain't nothing to do after that.
All right, I got one last question because I got to jump. My buddy George called somebody yesterday for a product or something in a pretty big piece of whatever the case is, and the CEO called him back. Didn't use my name or anything. Just, hey, I want to do this. And he said, well, why didn't the salespeople call me back? And the CEO said, you want somebody who's batting 300 or somebody who's batting 150. And as the CEO, obviously the CEO has a lot of other things to do. They got financing, warehousing, shipping, distribution. I don't know, hiring people, firing people, whatever. Yoga, goat yoga, whatever the case is. How many times do you get on the phone yourself personally with your clients, your customers, or sometimes you have a better salesperson and you know that maybe you screw it up? I mean, I'm gonna
keep it 1,000. Not often. And like, I'm gonna tell you why though. So one is, I just like my damn time. I like to play Xbox. I like to hang with my girl. I like to hang with my daughter. And I just like to chill. I don't even like to post. People don't realize that. Like, I advertise because I can make it once and then I can put it across the world for a year. That's why I advertise. So I don't have to post. I don't like none of that shit. And that always surprises people. So like, for me, getting on the calls, no. Like, I train but I'll tell you what though, I obsess about process. So my sales team, for example, they are on a verbatim script. Like, matter of fact, look at this. See this right here? This is what to say when they say no flashcards. Every damn objection that you could tell, time, money, not now. Well, I want to do this first. Talk to my partner, trust. I got rebuttals for all that shit when somebody happens. So to me, it's also a discipline for me. It's like, if I didn't create a good enough process in place where I don't have to be in it, then I'm not really building my business right. So it forces a discipline onto me of like, this is what I'm doing. And then also too, like, just as far as just even positioning, it's like, no, you're not just getting on the phone with Billy, damn it. I got like 4 walls. You ain't just hopping on the phone. That's Daymond John. I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just playing. But I still tell my people, like, I do group calls every week, and when I'm there, I show up. I go all in. I give 100%, my heart, etc. But I also protect my time. And my daughter and Xbox, I love all my customers, but I fuck with Xbox first, and just know
That's what you're working so hard for, and that's what you put in the work for. So why didn't you send me, instead of sending me a dad joke book, why didn't you send me that script?
Because the dad joke lasted longer. You know what
I
mean?
Man.
You may want to sell script here, you may want to sell script there, but that joke.
Please send me that script. Thank you so much, because you just said we can learn from each other. Of course, Grant Cardone does the same thing. You know, he's a beast with it. You know, I really appreciate you. You know, and the time that you spent with me, and I think that a lot of people learn from me. I mean, what did I pick up today alone? Keep educating myself. Facebook has now reduced its costs. Let me go out there. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's have, if you can't be there yourself, then give them the nuggets, your script, because maybe it'll either help them or they'll improve it for you. And make sure you prioritize the time and the things that you want to do, because you work so hard to do those things. And if Xbox and your baby and your wife are those things, then you busted your ass, you put the work in so that you can do those things, so you know your why. So I appreciate those things.
Hey, I appreciate you. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Hey, stock tips. Got any stock tips? Because the market's crazy right now. I'm just saying, because you know, like, you got a little sauce for me. You got a little sauce.
Nah, I really don't. Unfortunately, listen, I called it when it was going down to 22,000. I think it's going to go back down to 22,000 sooner or later after this infusion of cash. Yeah. Trillions have went in with the global pandemic. I'm in a bad position right now in a lot of my positions because I shorted it. You know, and I think it's going to be there. On the flip side, the only thing I can ever say is what my buddy Ray taught me. I never invest in stocks that I don't believe that if they go away, it won't affect the world. So I do know that Amazon and Shopify, if they go away, they're going to affect the world. I would have normally said that about, I would have normally said that about Uber and Airbnb, but you see where Uber is today, obviously, because of the pandemic. There's so much craziness. Warren Buffett has not gone back into the market yet. This is the smartest man on Wall Street history. So he has a lot of smart people around him. They either say because he is exposed in a lot of the insurance aspects, because he's going to have to clear up a lot of things, or he's just sitting on his wad of money going, yeah, okay. All right, everybody, you know,
having fun.
Yeah, having fun. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Warren Buffett loves to say that the market takes away from the impatient and gives to those who are patient. So I look at that, and you know, the only other last thing, you know, that I can say is, I just lost my train of thought. But you know, listen, I think that's enough. I said a whole lot of nothing. But you know, listen. I did tell people on TMZ this the other day, like, and nothing wrong with being, listen, I worked at Red Lobster for years, but nothing wrong with being a pizza delivery guy or girl. But, you know, my pizza delivery guy was giving me stock advice when he saw me. And it reminded me of the cryptocurrency, how everybody was on the cryptocurrency 2 years ago, and they all gave advice when
Whoosh.
when the pizza guy give you, and by the way, it was a great tip. But when he does that, be careful.
Hey, let me add it to that, because real quick, I said, like, hey, make sure you're learning from people, etc. But I forgot that hook, which is learn from people who have the damn result. If they ain't got the result, then that is not, and that includes your parents. Your parents don't know everything. That's the biggest lie they ever told us. I love my mom and dad, but let's keep it 100. They don't know a lot of shit. But they know a lot of stuff. Shout out to them. More praise.
I'm going to hop off right now, but I got to make one on the comment. Right, you're right. You listen,
appreciate you, brother.
My mother is so smart, so brilliant, but, you know, some things and a lot of things she told me, 90% of the things she told me have been brilliant. But sometimes, you know, your parents, you know, they get a little older. You learn a little bit, and you be like this. I don't know, Ma. All right, man. Love you, man.
Brother. Appreciate you, man. Love you too. Later.
All right, everybody, I got to hop off, but I wanted you to make sure you saw that interview with Billy, because he's absolutely amazing. You can learn a lot from him and follow him. I'll catch you next time. Peace.